All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It is Ask the Experts here on Talk Radio 1190. We interview local prominent professionals here in the beautiful Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. On what? Well, their area of expertise, of course. I'm the host of the show, Matt Cather. Joining me in studio, great to have him back. It's Travis Strack of Lion Business Brokers. Before we get to Travis, and we got a special guest in studio joining us as well. Very excited for that. Phone number to reach out to the fine folks over at Lion Business Brokers is 682-350-8586. That's 682-350-8586. The website is lionbusinessbrokers.com. That's lionbusinessbrokers.com. Travis, how we doing this morning?
I'm pretty good. A little chilly outside, but glad to be in studio with you again, Matt.
I know it's we get messed up with a little bit of warm weather, and now we're back down to it. But it's good to be here. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You know, it's been a little bit since we talked. Yes. I think we'll set the stage for the folks, kind of tell us a little bit about Lion Business Brokers, and then introduce our guest we got in today. This is an exciting day.
Sure. So, like I said before, we work with business owners, sellers, looking to exit, sell their business. We work with them to, professionally represent their company, list it, market it, screen all the buyers, the investors, then hopefully get the price that they want for it.
You know, one of the things we always start with is you always tend to have a featured listing. Do we want to jump right into that?
Sure. So this featured listing is our listing number 31173. It's a commercial floor cleaning business, and I know I usually represent and say everyone for my associates and brokers, but this one's actually one of my listings.
Oh.
So it's a great opportunity. The business is cash flowing very well. If anyone's looking for a service-type business, 90 to 95% of this business that the owner has is repeat business and or referral. He does zero marketing, zero advertising, doesn't even have a website, and he's, like I said, doing referral and repeat business and is turning away business now. So great opportunity for somebody looking for a service-type business.
And like you said, you're leading the way, so this is pretty cool.
Yeah, so I know the intimate details on this one.
Yeah.
So, anyone interested, just reach out, contact me directly at, the number or email you just gave earlier.
And before we get kind of rolling, folks, remember, lionbusinessbrokers.com/radio. If you got any questions you want to have us answer on the show with Travis, be more than happy to do that. That's lionbusinessbrokers.com/radio. All right, we set the stage. What do we say we introduced our guest? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so anyway, I asked somebody to come join me today. It's actually a strategic partner that we work with. It ties in a lot to what we've kind of spoken about in the past, as far as some of the strategies.
Of course.
So anyway, it's Kevin Alft with ActionCOACH. I'll give a quick little background, and I'll pass it over to Kevin and let him go into details.
Perfect.
The one thing I say that kind of lured us to Kevin and his group is, we do get hit up by different coaches and stuff. I like to call them, and they're management consultants,
of course,
because they go in and work with the management, the owners, to streamline and increase profits for businesses. But we met, and one thing that really stood out about Kevin and his team and his company is they actually offer a guarantee, which the other people who have ever contacted us, just introduced their services, have never had. So, like I said, I'll let him kind of go into that in more detail and everything. But again, it does tie into a lot about what we've spoken about, Matt, on the previous episodes, because we always talked at kind of a higher level, not drilled down details. That's what Kevin's going to do today. But the importance of exit strategy. That's really where their forte is and how they can help a business on the exit. But to be clear, not just that, they can also just help a company or an owner who isn't looking to sell anytime soon, but wants to increase their profits. Kevin and his team can come in and do that. And so anyway, I'll just kind of pass it over to Kevin, let him introduce himself, and we'll go from there.
Travis, thank you. Matt, thank you. It's an honor to be on here this morning. Kevin Alft, CEO, owner of ActionCOACH of Texas, been part of the organization for 17 years. The company's been around for 30 years. We're operating in 84 countries, about 1,000 offices around the world. Here in Texas, we've got 20 offices. And as Travis alluded to, we figured out how to guarantee results back in 2009. and no one else has figured out how to copy that. So we've got some distinct advantages. What we're doing is our clients are basically finding that within 4 to 8 weeks of engaging us, they're getting the return on their initial investment. And here in Texas, our clients are getting a 13 to 22x return on their investment or services, which means for every $1,000 they invest in their coaching exit preparation services, they're getting a $13,000 to $22,000 return. That's a pretty good darn return. Sure beats the stock market today, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. And just that to tie on that too, Kevin, that you mentioned stock market. I don't know if you've seen this. I'll just mention this briefly. A lot of the buyer inquiries I've been getting lately are people looking to exit the corporate world because of the fear of the unknown. They want to take more control over their destiny as far as their income and stuff. And so, to his point, these businesses, you own a business, you can get a better return.
Definitely. So, Travis, you also mentioned about the fact that we increase profits. We got this proprietary 5 ways growth chassis that drives exponential growth, meaning that the business's profitability multiplies pretty quickly. What we found typically in Texas, if a client is really interested in changing their profit numbers, within the first 90 to 120 days, so 3 to 4 months, the clients are getting somewhere between a 50 to 80% increase in their profitability and going from there. So you can imagine those who are looking to exit, increasing the profitability makes their business a lot more appealing, makes it a lot easier for you all to sell, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the other thing is this, it's interesting. I'm not certain how many of you business owners know this. Pepperdine did a study, and what they found is 78% of business owners are expecting 60 to 100% of their retirement dollars to come from their business sale, their exit of their business. And also, I'm working directly with the state board of the Texas Association of Business Brokers, and our data across the state shows only about 25%, maybe 20% of businesses across the state that are listed with brokers sell. Only 20% sell. 80% do not. It has nothing to do with the capability of the brokers, has everything to do with the fact that that business is too owner dependent. Yes,
and I'll tie on that too because, again, because we screen all the buyers and investors, like I mentioned earlier. One of the first thing they ask is, how tied in is the owner? Is this can this be an absentee owner type purchase or not? And it's the one where the owner has all the knowledge, is running all the day to day. There's no general manager in place. Those just are kind of overlooked by serious buyers.
And if I could add, along with all the know-how being in the owner's head, the other problem is the key relationships with the customers, the clients, with the team, with the supply chain, or quite often with the owner. And if the owner steps out, all of a sudden, team is saying, I don't know if I want to stay here longer. Customers saying, gosh, I'm going to shop around because the guy or gal I've been doing business with for years is no longer here.
Right, because that owner is also the salesperson that's out there and getting the accounts, and they don't have a dedicated sales manager that's going to stay on afterwards. So, absolutely.
Yes, what we do is so being a strategic partner with Travis, we actually do an exit planning session as a gift. It's about a $3,000 value. And if anyone comes to us through Travis or from this radio show, they get that for free. So it's an exit plan. So you say, okay, where is my business? How might I be able to step out of the day-to-day? How could I reduce the concentration risk? How could I increase the profit by multiple times? And that's a plan that we'll create with you side by side. And again, that's a gift because you're coming through Travis.
Right. And that's like we kind of partner up too, because again, it is something that benefits the owner or owners of the business. I mean, increased profits. Again, then it's just going to increase your sell price. Plus, it also helps us make our job easier to present, like we just alluded to with buyers and what they're looking for. Kevin and his team go in and prime it up and just would make it look good.
And that's and we've discussed exit plan strategies before, and that kind of is the reason why this is a good partnership, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just it just makes sense, and like I said, we're looking at somebody who's looking to exit in the next 1 to 3 years, and that's like Kevin and his team can help with that. But I do want to promote them at that it's not just for the listeners, that it's not just if you're looking to sell. He can come in and just help you increase profits. I mean, because maybe to what he was just saying, what the owner is totally embedded in the company and the business. What could that owner do with a good general manager? Free up time, go out, do some more high level stuff to help grow the business. And that's what Kevin and his team could do.
That's a great point, Travis. Step one in terms of getting your business so it's highly exit ready is to wind up at some point in time extracting know-how from your head, put it in the business systems so you can hire competent staff, they can run the business, put a general manager in place, and why not fix your business up so if you want to take vacation, you can because the general manager's there to run it. Because like Trav said, we actually increase profitability so the business got the gross margin dollars to employ the general manager and still create greater profitability.
Right. And it's always, like we mentioned, I keep going back because this is how much this ties into it.
Of course.
In the past is, even though you may not be planning for exit, you don't want to wait on the back end and then be forced to exit, i.e. COVID. Yeah, there's probably not a lot of people planning to exit, but depending on what type of business you had, if it was tanking, you're looking for a fire sale. So again, why not be primed up and ready to go at all times, just in case the unknown happens? It could be health issues too with the owner that could come up unexpectedly. So, like what we're trying to say is, always be running to your most efficient self. And then, like I say, using a group like them can really help you get there quicker.
And to your point, why not make the business exit ready while you're owning it, even if you don't plan to sell for 2 or 3 years? A lot easier to run. You can take vacation, management team's in place. The business is more profitable. It's like people, sometimes they fix up their house right before they sell it, and they fix it up. They say, dang, I wish I'd done this 2 or 3 years ago. Same thing with your business. Why don't you go ahead and get it so it's exit ready before you want to exit? And if something ever happens, God forbid, you can actually go ahead and sell it because it's exit ready. Or, again, a lot easier to run and more profitable.
Exactly, and that's to my point. And you never know. You may not be ready, but again, some offer comes along that is really kind of phenomenal just because at the timing that it's maybe a strategic acquisition. Somebody really wants to enter that territory and they're willing to pay top dollar. Stuff like that comes up. But like to Kevin's point, I like how he's saying being exit ready, right? So again, that's key because I was just speaking with a seller yesterday who's looking to possibly sell sometime. Again, not right now. But the one thing that wasn't really aware of is that your net, you want that up. He's running the business just like a regular, lower my tax implications. I'll go out and buy, a bunch of stuff towards the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And that's not what you want to do when you're trying to be, exit prepped. So things like that, and again, they can go in and help educate that just like we do over the phone too. But like to Kevin's point, they map it out in detail what you need to do.
Yeah, and I kind of want to build off that a little bit because we're saying being exit ready, you have a good plan. Kind of what, I guess a couple bullet points. What does that entail to be in that situation? Great
question, Matt. So what we do is in this exit planning piece, we've got this 6 steps framework, 6-step scorecard. And what that includes, there's about 3,500 business tools and solutions we've developed in the last 30 years. And it's within the framework. And we look at your business and we say, all right, let's identify the gaps in your business. Where is the business highly dependent upon you? Do you have growth levers? Because a lot of buyers, and Travis, you can confirm this, a lot of buyers say, what are the growth levers in this business? And if the seller says, well, sometimes it grows, sometimes it doesn't, that's not a very good business.
No.
So put the growth levers in place, then cause them to grow the business and top line, and more importantly, the bottom line, the profitability and the cash flow. So we put that whole infrastructure in place, the growth chassis, the infrastructure, so the owner's know-how can be put into systems and put a general manager in place. Ultimately, we map that out, we sequence it out, say, here's how we would do this. We'll start in the first month, we'll do this, the first quarter, the next 6 months. So there's a whole sequence plan that you end up with from A to Z. And you have a business where, again, you can step out of the day-to-day, have a lot more profit dollars along the way, and also when you choose to exit, it's ready to go. The other piece is, Travis, you alluded to it, there's different levels of buyers. A higher-level buyer will pay a far greater multiple against the earnings. If the business is highly dependent upon the owner, you normally at best attract someone who wants a job. They want to buy a job, and they're willing to come in and learn it from someone over a period of time, but there's a lot more risk. So a high-end buyer won't take the risk of a business that's highly dependent upon whether the know-how or relationships with the current owner. Yes?
Right. No, that's exactly right. And to that point, I had a thought and I lost it for a second. But yeah, I mean, with the exit prep, it just came back. With the exit prep you're asking, Matt, and what he was talking about is buyers want to see growth, like he just mentioned. So many times, we start speaking with sellers and they're on autopilot. So they're like, I just need to make this amount of money each year to keep living the same way I've been living for the last 3 years, 5 years, whatever. again, buyers are looking for growth, like he was talking about. So, again, always looking for the next year, increase in revenue. If you increase your margins, great. But that's, like he said, come in, they map it out, show you how to continue to do that. And maybe, Kevin, you did touch on the 6 steps, which I'm looking at the card here that you gave me too. So, maybe to help comfort some of the owners, once you map it out, as long as they follow the steps, it kind of falls into place, with your guidance too, right? That they can really do this without making huge changes or time constraints on their current day-to-day stuff, right?
Travis, that's a great point. I do want to also point out, you talked about buyers are looking for growth. Very importantly, looking for predictable growth. So when a seller puts our globally proven growth chassis in place, now they got predictable growth. Of course, it's great for the seller while they're owning it, and it's great for the buyer as well. But back to the point, the amount of time that's required with the instruction sets for every strategy. So again, this gift that you have is a strategic plan, exit plan. It's all sequenced out. Here's the first thing. Here's the next. Here's the next. Here's the next. So it's ABC, how to get your business so it produces more profit, how to put someone in place to run it, how to have it so someone else would buy it. And also, your time at most is 3 or 4 hours per week. We work with you, identify where can you free up 3 or 4 hours per week. So because quite often there's things that owners are doing they don't have to be doing, or they can delegate. So one of the first things we do as well is we give them a delegation process so they can delegate a few of the things to some of the team members, free up the time to work on the development of the business. Make it turnkey. Another key point I'd like to make is make your business turnkey. Meaning that, Travis, you want to mention that because those businesses sell like fast for a whole lot.
Yes, exactly. And that's like, I think I touched on it earlier too, is just today that, buyers are looking for someone who's not embedded. That, when you put something up and you say absentee owner, the inquiries come flowing in. And
those businesses need a lot more.
Yes, exactly.
This is Ask the Experts here on Talk Radio 1190. We're going to take a quick break. We got Travis Strack of in studio today. Also joining us, special guest, owner, CEO of ActionCOACH Texas, Kevin Alft. Got that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Quick break. We're going to come back, pick up where we left off. We're going to pick his brain a little bit more on the other side of things. This is Ask the Experts here on Talk Radio 1190. Stay tuned, folks.
Lion Business Brokers work every day to help their clients successfully sell their business. They don't just list businesses, they represent them. With confidentiality in mind, they market your business to qualified buyers. They're a Texas-based business broker. Lion Business Brokers serves communities throughout the greater Dallas and Fort Worth area. Lion Business Brokers understands that you have a choice when it comes to business brokers, but you only have one choice when it comes to quality representation on the sale of your business. Owners who are looking to sell their business engage Lion Business Broker Services because they're trusted mergers and acquisitions specialists. If you're looking to sell your business, their business listing services benefit you by taking the hard work out of listing, advertising, and qualifying potential buyers. Having the Lion Business Broker team represent you gives you access to a team that specializes in marketing business in a way that will appeal to a larger base of qualified buyers. Contact Lion Business Brokers for more information at 512-537-3547.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Ask the Experts. We do this every Saturday here on Talk Radio 1190, 10 to 12. Always a pleasure to be here. Joining me in studio today, Travis Strack of LionBusinessBrokers.com. You got Kevin Alft he's owner and CEO of ActionCOACH Texas. Real quick, phone number for the folks at Lion Business Brokers, it's 682-350-8586. That's 682-350-8586, LionBusinessBrokers.com. Our feature listing for this week's show, it's a commercial flooring cleaning business located in Central Texas. And if you have any questions, any information you need to get from that, well, Travis is the man to go to, so that's who you need to reach out for that. Pretty cool. I like it. Let's jump right back into things, guys, and kind of clear up any questions or any final thoughts on the exit plan strategy, and we'll move forward. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Thanks, Matt. So basically, again, for all of you who are looking to exit your business at some point in time, which you're going to, either A, you're going to sell it or some other way that's not so cool. you're better off selling it at some point in time or transitioning to the kids. Nonetheless, create a plan. And here's what the plan will do. It'll identify where your business is now. We'll work with you, collaborate with you, say here's how to get it to the point where you can step out of the day-to-day. First thing, increase the profits dramatically. Put a profit plan in place. How do you grow consistently, predictably? Give yourself some time freedom. Put more money in your bank. Have your business provide excess so you have legacy for, say, grandkids, 520 college plans for grandkids, things like that. Time freedom. And just what exit options might be. And you may have 2 or 3 different exit options. So that plan is a gift for you. Again, most in the DFW area would charge about $3,000 for it. It's a gift here from Action Coach since we work with line business brokers.
Yes.
So, anything else on that plan, Travis?
No, I was just going to say, really encourage any listeners or anyone out there to take advantage of that. Because like I said, it truly is free. There's no strings attached. They come in, have a couple phone calls and stuff and kind of get to know your business more and then map out a strategy for you. And that's literally it. And like I said, that's about a $3,000 value right there.
And like we mentioned in the last segment, a business that's prepared to exit is a whole lot better business to run now while you still own it and produces a heck of a lot more profit.
Right.
So
exactly.
Time freedom and financial freedom, double win.
Yep. And while we're talking about, how they do all this, and we mentioned the guarantee that kind of stood out to us and our firm. Kevin, if you don't mind, the other thing that kind of stood out to me anyway, when we first met and you kind of, went over everything that you guys do was your success rate. So, can you kind of touch on that? Because that's pretty impressive.
Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, we're in 84 countries now, 1,000 offices around the world. Been doing this for 30 years. And the distinction we've got is we've created this framework of over 3,500 business tools, solutions, and instruction sets that we give one by one to the owner. They're implementing it. Their team's implementing it. And now they've got a pathway forward. And, again, we've guaranteed results starting back in 2009. So we're hitting it every time as long as the owner is willing to implement the proven strategies that we've put in place. And what we do is we meet with them every week, guide them week over week. Here's how you move the needle. Again, our guarantee states that the client will recover their investment in the services the first 4 to 8 weeks. And we're hitting that 99% of the time here in Texas.
That's it, 99%. Almost 100%, and
about as good as it gets.
Yeah, and that's like you said. That's why they can offer a guarantee. They're so confident that when they come in, that they're going to hit the mark. They're gonna do what they say and make that business and that owner more successful.
In regards to examples, case studies, do you have anything that I know we kind of discussed that a little bit off air?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, a couple of things. One is there's a retail business that back in 2017 it was deemed not sellable. We engaged them. We worked with them on margin management, target marketing, changed the staff, put management team in place, put a full set of key performance indicators in place, full suite of financials so a buyer would have optics and say, here's how this business makes money. Here's the growth levers that drive growth. And in 2022, that business sold for $10 million cash, and the owner went and flew to Ireland and played golf for 3 weeks the week after closing. Another one is an insurance business back in 2020. So in 2020, we engaged them as the owner and the spouse only, and they said they wanted to sell it. So we worked with them to put 6 productive sales professionals in place, increase renewal rate, expanded policies per client, put manager in place, full suite of financials and key performance indicators. Business grew from $1 million to about $4 million in 2 years, our growth chassis. And they sold it for about $10.4 million. So they were quite happy about that, and we're happy for them. Because for us, we believe a business ought to give you a better life while you own it and more life options when you exit it. Lock that in, team. Better life while you own it and more life options when you go to exit. And the other thing is we got a manufacturing company. 3 buyers that looked at it. They said it's not worth buying. We worked with them. And target marketing, clear niche, unique selling proposition, margin management, full executive team so the owners are the day-to-day, and in market expansion so they grew their niches, multiple niches, so targeted market segments, revenue growth, implemented our full systemization structure, a whole 6 steps process. They sold it for $40 million cash in Q3 of last year. So went from a business where the buyers said not worth buying because too owner-centric and other concentration risk to $40 million. It was bought by a PE firm that was consolidating the industry. So we're grateful to be able to serve the business community the way we do. and we're grateful for the performance and the consistency we've been able to deliver results for them and their families and build a future, multi-generational future, preferably.
Yeah, and to touch on that too, Kevin, because one pushback we get a lot too, because he was talking about, free up some time and why you own the business. Owners sometimes are so, like we were saying, embedded and into the day-to-day. And so just on our side, on the broker side, like, well, you should bring in a general manager, bring somebody in to help free up some of that time so you can go take vacation with your family or spend time off. The pushback we always get is, well, I can't afford that. I can't afford to bring somebody else on.
Of course. In
conversations Kevin and I had, that's one of the main things they look to do is come in, increase the profits enough where that extra profit, it pays for that position. So they can bring a GM in to free up that time. So really, I don't want to use the word no cost, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, he'll increase the profits to where they have now that revenue and that cash on hand to go out and hire a GM.
So we got 2 minutes left on the show. Time's flying. I just want to be able to squeeze in real quick closing remarks. And of course, Kevin, let us know where they can find you if you need to throw out any information.
I'll kind of wrap up here and then pass it on to Kevin to let him kind of wrap up if anything he has to say. Another thing, when he's talking about the exit prep, I just wanted to work in here what we're talking about is also he mentioned, being exit prepped, ready. Well, that's also for your kids. He did touch on, multi-generational, that, again, a health issue comes up from an owner. The kids are in college. It's not really ready to be handed off. But if it's primed and ready to go, prepped, like we're saying, somebody can come in and help, in that interim, run it until it's time to be headed off. And then I'll pass it on to Kevin and let him wrap up his thoughts.
Thank you. And again, as Travis mentioned a moment ago, we work first on the profit, drive your profit up, your gross margin dollars up, so your business can invest in a general manager, give yourself some time freedom. We keep driving profit beyond that. And also, as Travis said, you just never know what's going to happen. Have your business exit prepped. It's a lot better to run, easier to run. And again, it allows you to be able to have your business ready for the unknowns that you face once in a while.
Real quick, how can they contact you?
So for me, it's you can get me at Kevin Alft, ALFT, at ActionCOACH.com, or my mobile. I used to live in Houston, so I still have my Houston number. It's 832-871-7217. It's 832-871-7217.
And for line business brokers, 682-350-8586. That's 682-350-8586. LionBusinessBrokers.com. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure.
Matt, Kevin, it's good.
Matt, thank you. Travis, thank you.
Soon.
Thanks for coming on, Kevin.
Take care.
See you, Matt.